Tá só?
Olha o Calvo aí, man. Caralho, anunciaram a luta do Calvo sem eu ter assinado. Caralho, mané.
Que isso? Como assim?
Caralho, eu também não sei não, man.
During Saturday's UFC Houston event, two compelling fight announcements were made that have fans buzzing. Sean Brady versus Joaquin Buckley will serve as the main event for UFC Vegas 116 at the Apex on April 25th, featuring the 6th and 9th ranked welterweights who are both eager to rebound from recent setbacks. Additionally, American top team training partners Renato Moicano and Chris Duncan were booked to headline UFC Vegas 115 on April 4th at the same venue. Though Moicano surprisingly discovered the booking while streaming live and admitted he hadn't actually accepted the bout yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, we congratulate the inimitable veteran voice of the Octagon
Bruce Buffer's emotions were on full display as the UFC celebrated his incredible 30-year journey with the organization during UFC Houston. The legendary announcer received a heartfelt video tribute acknowledging 3 decades of service since his promotional debut at UFC 8 in December 1996. The touching montage temporarily halted the evening's proceedings to honor one of the company's most iconic personalities, and Buffer's visible reaction demonstrated just how deeply the recognition affected him.
Absolutely. It was recognition from the crowd because the UFC fans are just incredible. It was recognition, humbly said, from my peers and the powers that be at the UFC and everybody I work with, including all of you. So it just meant so much to me. And yes, there were tears. Absolutely. You know, a man who can't show tears at a vital moment in their life, they're missing something.
It's so rare for anybody to do something for 30 years and still have the same passion that they had in the beginning. Where does that come from?
You know, when I stepped in the octagon 30 years ago, obviously, again, my evolutionary process, things have changed, the way I announce, the way I move and everything else. But I will tell you truth to date today. Every night I walk in that octagon, I have to prove to myself, to you, to the fans, the powers that be, everybody watching, and especially to the fighters, that I deserve to be there and share that moment and roar them and enhance that moment for them as best as possible. I always say the show is not about me, because it's not. It's about the fighters and it's about the fans, and that's what we're here to do. But I have to prove to myself, and the moment that I don't have that passion and the moment that I physically and mentally can't do it the way I want to do it, that's when the time would be for me to retire. But you know what? UFC 400, here I come, and then I'll make a decision after that.
Speaking with the broadcast team afterward, Buffer expressed his gratitude for the milestone recognition, while revealing his ambitious plans to continue his announcing duties through UFC 400 and potentially beyond.
No, you broken, Dan.
You know, when that happened, that came out, it wasn't lost on me that it was a Sean Strickland fight week that I would have to go and deal with afterwards, you know?
But no, they accuse you right of banging Dan, right?
They accuse me.
Dude, no, I could see Dan liking to party. I'm not saying Dan's a gay man, but I could see him, I could see him partying a little bit with you. Maybe getting a little bit too loose, waking up to one little sore butthole.
So it was a fantastic win for you here in Houston. Congratulations on that.
Strickland then shifted his focus to Khamzat Chimaev and didn't hold back.
You have obviously made the case for the Khamzat fight. I feel like it's probably one of the biggest fights in the division.
Yeah, no, I mean, nobody who wants to see two little go-fuckers go at it. You want to see a real American fight this little Chechen in American soil. This is a fight that needs to happen.
Yeah, I hate to spoil it for you. I don't think you're going to get on the White House card.
I mean, dude, who knows, dude? No, dude. Maybe I got to go hang up on Epstein or something. I guarantee, dude. Chimaev would go to Island. That motherfucker going all day long. That dirty little fucker.
Remember to support the channel by liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell to expand our reach. Moving to breaking news, Jailton Almeida has quickly secured new employment following his surprising UFC release just 9 days ago. The heavyweight's dismissal after consecutive defeats shocked many observers, considering his divisional ranking and solid 8-3 octagon record since earning his contract through Dana White's Contender Series. Almeida broke his silence on Saturday, vowing a triumphant return to competition, and within hours his destination became clear. While many anticipated a PFL signing following other former UFC fighters, discussions reportedly stalled, leading Almeida to sign with Russia's absolute championship Akhmat instead. This respected European organization now houses the Brazilian fighter, though his debut specifics remain undisclosed. Interestingly, Almeida has abandoned his planned light heavyweight move and will remain at heavyweight, potentially targeting ACA champion Alekhan Vakayev.
Bro, I made him quit training. Witnesses in the audience. Where's Eric at? I made him quit. No, dude. We're doing positional grappling, and positional grappling. All right, start on my back, and I was like first round. I let him choke me because it's like no one gives a fuck. Let me tell you about this little. I'll tell you. When I walk into a gym, do you think that I go find the little weakest man? I say let's spar. I say no. I go find the biggest, baddest motherfucker. I'm like, hey, I want to spar you. Every time Chimaev would walk in the gym, he would pick the smallest, lowest level pro and say, but he looks like my opponent. You're beating the out of it. And this is a true story. You guys could back me up, my team. He would pick the smallest guy. Chimaev's a bully. And if you notice what he does in the division, he just runs and hides. Oh, now I want to go to 205 and fight Yuri. He was not even the champ, dude. You just run and hide. You did it when you train with us, and you're doing it in the division.
Sean Strickland delivered a vintage performance against Anthony Hernandez, utilizing his signature jab while displaying uncharacteristic aggression in his follow-up attacks. A devastating knee strike wobbled Hernandez badly, prompting Strickland to unleash a barrage of punches that eventually dropped his opponent, with Herb Dean stopping the contest at 2:33 of round 3. This impressive finish positions Strickland for potential title contention in 2026, generating significant social media buzz from fighters like Alan Juban praising the performance, Shavkat Rakhmonov expressing interest in facing him, and Terrence McKinney highlighting Strickland's focused approach. Henry Cejudo suggested a Strickland-Rakhmonov vacant title fight, while others pointed to body shots as Hernandez's weakness and speculated about future matchups, including Khamzat Chimaev. The victory led to Strickland's typically controversial press conference appearance, where he questioned media members about various topics.
I think after the fight, dude, he came up to me and he was like, "Hey, when you flipped off my daughter." And I was like, "Dude, what are you talking about? Like, I didn't flip off your daughter. I didn't even, the f- you talking about? She was in the crowd and she thinks you flipped her out like Fluffy." There was hundreds of people in the crowd booing me. Do you think that I looked at a little girl and flipped her off? No, I wouldn't do that, dude. I'm apologizing to him because here I am. Her kid just watched me beat up her dad thinking I'm this racist skinhead. I'm like, dude, I feel like a piece of shit now, Fluffy. Thank you. Thank you for letting me win this fight, now making me feel like a piece of shit, dude. So once I get done, I got to call Fluffy and make an apology to his kid now because I feel like a piece of shit.
Strickland addressed Khamzat Chimaev's allegations that their sparring sessions involved multiple submission victories for the Chechen fighter.
Nobody. So...
Thanks, guys.
Oh, that's a wrap? Anyways.
The former champion also claimed that Anthony Hernandez became upset after Strickland allegedly made an inappropriate gesture toward Hernandez's daughter in the audience.
Wait, I got one for Smo. It ain't a rap, dog. Relax. UFC mother. What's up, Smo?
I gotta ask you this. You stopped the guy with the 8-fight win streak. Do you feel like Sean Strickland did enough to get the next title shot in the middleweight division?
Yes, I don't think this thing works. I'll stand up. Yes, Judge, enough. Listen, you don't want to see any of these motherfuckers fight that little Chechen. You want to see the last American in the sport going that guy up, and that's what's going to happen.
What does Sean Strickland do to beat Khamzat Chimaev?
Anything I want, dude. Anything I want, dude. I'll bring a go. He'll get distracted. Anything I want.
UFC officials eventually silenced Strickland's microphone and concluded the press conference as his comments became increasingly problematic.
What did you think of Sean and his performance tonight?
Yeah, he was in great shape tonight. Looked good, sharp, and got the job done.
Were you expecting more wrestling from Fluffy? It seemed like he had some success on the feet and wanted to keep it there. Were you expecting him to maybe mix it up a bit more?
I don't know what I was expecting. If you bet 300,000 on Strickland tonight, you won $1 million. A couple people did it on Polymarket, so I don't think a lot of people expected Strickland.
Strickland's final remarks before the microphone was cut demonstrated his continued controversial approach to media interactions.
There's no, what he says during media day and things like that. That doesn't affect your booking of him, right? You are still happy to put him in those?
It's a nightmare. But you guys don't help. Asking them dumb shit, ask dumb shit. You're going to get dumb shit. What'd you think of Bad Bunny? What'd you think of the Super Bowl? Get the f out of here. Kidding me? Yeah. So when you talk about what Strickland says, you guys like to push the buttons.
Conor McGregor praised Sean Strickland's UFC Houston performance through social media, crediting countless sparring hours for the victory and emphasizing the importance of treating every session like regular practice without overthinking. The Irish superstar expanded on his philosophy in subsequent posts, describing effective sparring as group sessions with rotating partners where the atmosphere remains relaxed and ego-free, coining the term "it's sparring" as legitimate world championship preparation. McGregor also hinted at his own return plans, suggesting his comeback opponent might be an unknown fighter and expressing complete willingness to accept such a matchup.
One more. We've seen Khamzat Chimaev fight at welterweight. We see him fight at middleweight. Is he someone that if he says, hey, I want to fight at light heavyweight, we'd see him fight at light heavyweight?
I'd like to see him defend his title at a weight first. Yeah, I'd like to see him defend his title before he talks about jumping around from, you're going to keep going up in weight divisions without defending. Yeah, I'd rather see him defend.
Dana White shared his perspective on the evening's events during the post-fight press conference, beginning with praise for Sean Strickland's commanding victory over Anthony Hernandez.
Alex Pereira teasing potentially going up to heavyweight. Do you want to see him compete at heavyweight, or do you want to see him defend the light heavyweight title in this next match?
Well, he's one of those guys that always steps up, does whatever we need him to do. Whatever that guy wants to do, we would work with him.
When reporters questioned Strickland's recent behavior, White dismissed their inquiries as unintelligent and defended the fighter's actions.
Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano was announced to be on Netflix. Ronda said she approached you to have that fight. Then she said that it didn't work out, and maybe financial reasons were because of that under the new Paramount era. Are you disappointed not to be hosting that fight, and are you happy to see Ronda return to MMA?
Yeah, her and I have been talking about this since last year, and yeah, it just didn't work out, but I'm happy for it. Listen, me and Gina are in a really good place. We weren't at one point, and I'm happy for both of them.
Okay.
The UFC president addressed Khamzat Chimaev's potential move to light heavyweight, firmly stating that the middleweight champion must defend his current title before considering any weight class changes.
Well, I think you saw this week, I am really beating up babies. Is there a bigger pussy than Eddie Hearn?
He was quite upset that Conor Benn left him.
Is there a bigger pussy than Eddie Hearn? This guy's supposed to be your friend. You're crying he made more money. He's going to make more money, and he had the right to match it. He could have matched it.
I think he said he tried, and Conor Benn wouldn't return his calls.
What a crock of shit. Yeah. We're literally beating up babies.
Regarding Alex Pereira's possible heavyweight venture, White expressed openness to the idea and emphasized that the champion has complete freedom to pursue whatever interests him.
I kind of thought you started going a little wild. And like, no part of you slowing down. But to me, you're getting a little bit more sloppy. But like, no part of this man was slowing down. He was a savage. Well, don't you just say it to me? Oh, sit it up with you. Look, me just won 8 in a row. You something. You're a former champion. What do you want next show?
White reacted positively to Ronda Rousey's announced return against Gina Carano, expressing happiness for both competitors and their upcoming bout. The UFC boss also took shots at Eddie Hearn following Conor Benn's signing with Zuffa Boxing, delivering his typical pointed commentary. Khamzat Chimaev fired back at Sean Strickland following the American's call-out after his dominant Houston victory. Strickland had specifically targeted the middleweight champion during his post-fight interview, expressing his desire to fight the Chechen next, with colorful language about his intentions. Chimaev responded on social media, telling Strickland to calm down while pointing out that he destroyed Robert Whittaker, who had twice defeated Strickland previously. Video footage also surfaced, showing Chimaev intently watching Strickland's post-fight comments with visible irritation at the call-out. The internet's top meme from the event was created by Undisputed Take, capturing the evening's most memorable moments. Smash Talk produced the second-place meme that resonated with MMA fans across social platforms. Thanks for tuning in to today's coverage. Make sure to like and subscribe for daily MMA updates, and we'll see you tomorrow with more breaking news and analysis.